So as the sun goes down in this bay, our neighbors over there, right in the sun, how beautiful. We're in like the ideal spot. We're healthy, we've got everything we need, and yet, I gotta tell you, I'm kind of bummed out. I don't think that I've ever had any bouts of mental illness, but I think it's very normal to not feel accomplished sometimes when you have tasks that are difficult. And Lord knows I'm not worried about tasks that are difficult. It's just that at the end of the day, when you've been working and it still doesn't work, it just feels undone, and it's a yucky feeling, and I don't like it. People say that cruising is repairing your boat in exotic locations, and Lord knows, this is one hell of an exotic location. What do you think, Runa?
You got that right.
So there's a couple things. Runa's had his project, and I've had mine. I've been fighting with the water maker, and I'll get into my project. But we'll talk about Runa's project. Runa has he's in the aft stateroom and he has basically the aft head, and I converted that from a saltwater manual pump to a freshwater manual pump, and it seemed to work when I did it, and it's been getting less and less good as time goes by. And the reason why I converted to freshwater is that when urine goes in pipes with salt water, the salt takes the calcium or whatever, makes these limestone deposits inside. So the diameter of your pipes gets smaller and smaller. So there's some people who say, oh, I had a boat and I never had a problem with the head forever. Well, they probably weren't living on it. And if they were, the first 10 years might be fine. But if your pipes have been in there for 20 years, like this boat has been, and you might say, oh, we'll just replace the pipe, replace the hoses. Oh, believe me, I wish it was that easy. These things were put in when the boat was apart and like not designed to. It's just very difficult to do that. Anyway, we have snaked. We have put muriatic acid in, but it doesn't really seem like there's a blockage issue. The issue is that with a freshwater pump, there's a series of bellows that when you move the handle one way, it lifts up and it's supposed to evacuate anything in the bowl into this bellows place, and then a flapper goes down, and then when you push the handle the other way, the flapper keeps it from going back into the toilet, and it goes out through a what they call a joker valve, which is two lips together like that. So I think we've made 2 calls to Raritan. Yeah, we've called Raritan twice, got 2 different people, and both of them were very adamant that this is a very simple system and it shouldn't have any problems. The second guy that we got seemed to be a lot more in tune with what we were doing than the first guy. And so anyway, each time they tell us to do this and do that, and we do this and do that. And the problem, well, maybe Runa can explain it. Runa, can you explain about the problem that nobody likes to work on a head, but you have that one bolt?
Yeah, well, all of the bolt and the nut underneath, and the angle where one of them is.
And it's up against a wall.
It's up against the wall, and it's between all the hoses and the toilet itself. So you can only move it like a tiniest little amount every time, and you can't get anything above a screwdriver or anything to hold it. So you have to kind of just eke it along, and it takes forever to get it in. And I've took that apart how many times? I don't know.
20
times.
It's forever.
It's like sweating.
Oh, and we're just covered in sweat, dripping, and there's no room in it. His feet are all jacked up because we've got the washing machine in there and everything else, and it still doesn't work. And it still doesn't work. And this last thing we're getting to the point now where we are developing new problems, and we're fixing them, but we still haven't fixed the old problem. But then that gets back to my issue, and my issue has been the water maker, and so I had always thought there's two philosophies with making water. You can use a lot of power and make a lot of water really quickly, or you can use a little bit of power and make a little bit of water over a long period of time. And I had, because I built this whole system here with a pretty robust power system, I figured that I would get one of these, for about $4,000, maybe $4,500. You can get a Seawater Pro system that, it's AC, but my inverter and my lithium bank is strong enough for that. And like I said, we have 1,800 watts of solar and a 170 amp alternator, and we also have the generator on board. So if we needed water, if we needed 100 gallons of water, you could run the water maker for less than 3 hours and you would get that. And that's the way that I wanted to go. But my friend Courtney from Cape Ann Towing bought a boat with a Spectra water maker. And Spectra has a great reputation. People who have Spectra love them. And he gave it to me, and so I was like, well, but unfortunately, not unfortunately, it's the other way. So it uses very little bit of power and makes around 8 to 10 gallons an hour. It's supposed to be like 14 to 16 or whatever, but I've never seen that. And maybe that, and people say it's the temperature of the water, whatever. I've never seen that. So I've had, so the system that I got, apparently it was too old, and after I gave it to the people in Florida, that they looked at it and they said, look, you're never going to get parts for this, but we just happen to have this thing for $3,500. We'll give it, it's all rebuilt, it's ready to go. And I said, you know what, I got it all plumbed. We got these people that are going to help service us all around the world. This is going to be great. So I gave them $3,500, and they're good people. I'm not trying to talk bad about them. They've been wonderful to me, but man, I can't keep the thing from leaking. That's one big problem that I have. And I can even live with a little leak. If it drips a little bit and goes in the bilge, we can pump that out. I can live with that. But I thought that I ruined the membrane. And so I actually got a membrane here, had it shipped to Antonio in Benalmádena. And I just put that in today. And I replumbed things and got the charcoal. I'd had trouble before where I wasn't able to flush the system out. I got all the whole flushing system working flawlessly. That's working great. I even replumbed where the valves are so it'll be easier, so I'll want to flush more often, all that sort of stuff. But I put the brand new membrane in, and the pumps, I don't know what, I think I got all the air out of them, but I got, when it started working, I could only get my parts per million down to like 430 or 420 parts per million. And Spectra says that they make water out of salt water between 200 and 500. And the World Health Organization says that you can drink water up to 1,000 parts, and 1,000 is where you can just start to taste whether there's salt in there or not. Anyway, the old membrane, I was getting about 5 or 6 gallons per hour of fresh water, and when it was doing well, it was producing about, it was doing it, there were times I was able to get like 230, 250 parts per million, but other times it went all the way to, if you see, Chrysalita's trying to get us some shade, but the boat moves. But anyway, so I bought a new membrane, I put the new membrane in, and I am getting around 8 to 10 gallons an hour for our production, which is, I guess, good. It's not really what I expected, but and maybe I just need to replace one of my pumps. I don't know. But the biggest problem that really hurts is that I gotta, sometimes I'll get it around 470 or something like that parts per million, but then it goes into the 500s, and I'm just like, man, I didn't spend all this money for all this, and it sounds. I feel bad because, we're in paradise. I'm retired. I'm living the greatest life I've ever lived in my life, and I'm all super bummed out. And I really feel selfish about that because I do not have a license. I have no reason to bitch. And, God, it just doesn't feel good at the end of the day when you're sweating all day and you're exhausted and it still doesn't work. Runa, am I crazy or are you with me too?
Here's the medicine.
Ah, he's got the medicine.
We got some medicine.
Is that Norwegian medicine? Oh, and you got one for me too. Skål.
All right. Tomorrow's another day.
Thank you. Tomorrow's another day. So,
Hola, I want to put this here.
oh, she couldn't care less if I'm making a video for you guys or not. Anyway, I just want to tell you guys, I think that if you watch sailing channels and you're watching for babes in bikinis, other than Runa, you're probably not going to see that. Although the last video I did show you a naked chick, so, and I can't believe it. It seemed to get through YouTube, so that's kind of cool. But I like to think that you watch this because we're very unfiltered and tell you how it is for us, you know. And like I say, it just sucks when you work and you don't, and you try and you do everything and it just doesn't work at the end. But tomorrow's another day. We'll eventually get this, and with every time that I've been saying that every time I have to rebuild a system, whether it be when I was having troubles with my alternator and that sort of stuff, I start to understand the system better and better and better. Runa, are you understanding our plumbing system very well right now?
I know that there's some things not right, but I know that a lot of things are fine. I'm not sure where you're going.
So it's not always fun in paradise, but that's about it. What do you think?
Esto es algo increíble, algo fuera de lo...
She says it's beautiful, wonderful, it's incredible here.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna, I think we're gonna burn some steaks on the grill, have a few drinks, and start tomorrow and try again. It's not always happy in paradise. Sometimes we have self-induced hardships, and this is one of them. You guys take care. Thank you so much. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and thank you guys. There's a guy, Donald Flynn. You're out there. He keeps saying, you don't have to thank me personally. Donald has gone over and above the call of duty for everybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then there's we got a bunch of patrons that have been with us since day one, and you guys know who you are. Thank you so much, and I know who you are too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Take care, be safe, and as always, I'll see you on the one.